Hi, what causes in a woman a kuruta? Ebu belly guamo, billion. What you want to men a pilotimo? Well, it's a biniguamo, billion. Kulio, billion. Chukoki kabiama. Borona nyaga. Kulio, billion. Chukoki kabiama. Borona nyaga. Kulio, bilisiano, chukoki kabiama, pusiere na nyaga. Kulio, biliano, chukoki kabiama, pusiere na nyaga. Maximum respect to my own talented leader, Prophet Mazin Nandekano. You kept quiet, America kept quiet, you ain't kept quiet, the whole world kept quiet. You kept quiet, America kept quiet, you ain't kept quiet, the whole world kept quiet. You kept quiet, America kept quiet, you ain't kept quiet, the whole world kept quiet. You kept quiet, America kept quiet, you kept quiet, the whole world kept quiet. They came from Sahel, they came from Chad, they came from Niger, Senegal and Mali, claiming our land, killing our people because of our blessings. My God, go to the bushes now, they're everywhere. Kidnapping and killing people every day. Raping and killing our women and men, slaughtering them in their front line. Hey God, kidnapping and killing Christians night and day, and nobody they talk. Chimo, dividing and ruling we anyhow, as if you're not human being. My God, abducting and killing Biafrans every day, and the whole world to watch, the whole world to see. They splitted us just the killers. They rape our papa, they rape our mama. He go do me, we are one. He shone and bank, we are one people. The robo is so good, we are one. He's on security, we are one people. Ogoni Calabari, we are one. Calabar and Igbo, we are one. He go do me, we are one. He shone and bank, we are one people. Robo is so good, we are one. He's on security, we are one people. Ogoni Calabari, we are one. Calabar and Igbo, we are one people. They splitted us, just the killers. They rape our papa, they rape our mama, they rape our wives, they rape our girls, they rape our sisters, raping even our children, raping their car with the castle and to women with the top and they die. Small, small, small. Chukoki kabiama, oh nanyala, Chukoki kabiama, oh nanyala, Chukoki kabiama, oh nanyala, Chukoki kabiama, oh nanyala. Go to the one nation, wake up now and fight for your freedom. Wake up, your nation, wake up now and fight for your freedom. Wake up, go to the one nation, wake up now and fight for your freedom. Wake up, Biafran nation, wake up now and fight for your freedom. Wake up, Massimo, Durani Labasian, Mahamadike, Durani Labasian. I want to worship in the golden altar. You said you're going to be in Arajuku. We are all in Biafrans, we gather together to worship him, the Elohim. We are all in Biafrans, we gather together to worship him in one accord. We are all in Biafrans, round the world, we gather together to worship the Elohim. I love to worship in the golden altar. You said you're going to build in Arajuku. Massimo, Durani Labasian.
But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was brought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this idea belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond.
Ihe na-adịghị ekwe omume, ihe na-adịghị ekwe omume, ihe na-adịghị ekwe omume ka ọ na-eme.
And I will announce to you today, we are now fighting them back. And we will continue to fight them back until we get to a point where the international community will listen to how they kill us and how we pick up arms to fight back.
We are live and we are direct. Zoo is panicking. Zoo is panicking. I tell you the truth. It doesn't. I don't care who you are. I don't care what.
I have become your last bus stop. And said it from the beginning till now. I will be your end until Biafra come.
And what we want to make abundantly clear is that we are warning everybody who is a stakeholder in the zoo about our determination and our resolve to ensure that our land is defended. This is a resolution we have reached, and it is cast in stone. Let us pray. For God in heaven, Almighty Creator, the ancients of the ancients, the maker of the heavens and the earth, you created everything that the mind of a living soul can imagine, but none created thee. That is why we say you are immortal, you are invisible, you are omnipotent. This very God that every generation who has ever had the grace of knowing thee have always testified to your goodness. That is the same God that we kneel and bow before. This God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help even in this time of Janjaweed trouble, even in this time of Fulani rage and terrorism. Therefore we shall fear no evil. This IPOB shall fear no evil. Even if the whole world is against us, even if Britain intensifies their effort to crush this very light of hope in sub-Saharan Africa, even though they shake the mountains, even though the seas may rise, even though they may give all the weapons and ammunition to the Zoological Republic, no matter what they do, no matter how they foment their rage, it doesn't matter to us. For God, Chukokika Biama, is in the land of Biafra. We shall never ever be moved. This God of the ancients will help us now and forevermore. For Biafra shall come, and this Lord of hosts is with us. Chukwokika Biama, the same God of Jacob, this same God of Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, this God that never abandons his people, this same God is our refuge, and we proclaim it unashamedly that this God that we kneel and bow before, we shall worship thee, for Biafra is your promise, your word is yea and amen. Instead of your word not to come to pass, heaven and earth will cease to exist. Upon this very hope we anchor all our belief that Biafra shall come in our time, and we pray that it come this very year, that your glory may be made manifest in the lives of men, that we may kneel and bow before thee. Nyahan soro tutona nsoporo ne jamani bisiala chineke nanke promingeni ne ko tutoni ne wedregeze denso ubama womboni ne bigebi.
Welcome, 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 my fellow Biafrans. I appreciate everybody who has connected to this very program. Thank you wherever you are connecting from. I appreciate you wherever you are joining me from. If you are joining from Biafra land, you are joining from Asia, you are joining from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from any part of Africa, I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you. I appreciate everybody who has joined me on this very brief broadcast tonight. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. I don't know what your own time is. If it is morning, I say good morning to you. If it is evening, I say good evening to you. If it's night, I say good night to you. Wherever you are, you're connecting from, I say may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you. I welcome everybody who has been able to join me. I thank you for all your cooperation. Thank you for your support and your assistance. I thank you so much for being there all the time, and I say may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every one of you. I appreciate Chinwe Nwokedi. Thank you for joining, Chinwe. Thank you for joining the broadcast. I appreciate you. Amechi Jonas. Thank you, Amechi, my brother. You're always there. Thank you so much, Amechi, for joining all the time. Stella Uzoka, thank you so much, Stella. Thank you, Stella, for joining. Nkemjika, thank you so much, Nkemjika. Thank you. You're welcome. Ifine, thank you so much for joining, Ifine. Thank you so much. Izuogu, thank you so much for joining. Izuogu, thank you so much.
I appreciate you so much for joining. Dollar Fox, thank you for joining. Dollar Fox, you're always there. Diana Gumbiade, thank you so much, Diana. Thank you so much, Diana. You're always there. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate you. Adazion, my beloved sister, thank you so much, Adazion, for being there all the time. I appreciate you. Basil, thank you so much for joining. Basil, thank you so much, Basil. William, A-Team, yeah, A-Team Willie, thank you so much, A-Team. You're always there. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being there. Precious Duru, thank you so much, Precious Duru. Thank you for joining us. Della Fox, thank you for joining. Everybody that have connected to this very broadcast today, if I mention your name or I didn't mention your name, those who are watching on the background who are not typing, I appreciate every one of you and I recognize your presence. Your presence is very important. I appreciate it. I thank you so much for your cooperation. Thank you so much for joining. Please, as you join, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Kabiama, please kindly like the program and share. Like and share in all the platforms where you belong. Any platform where you are, please kindly like and share. Whichever platform you belong, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Kabiama, kindly like and share. That is how we pass the message. I won't do the job alone. You are there on the media with me. You are part of the media. As long as you're on the background there on the comment section watching, you are part of the media. So you have to do your own part by liking the broadcast and also sharing. That is how we can be able to break out of the hold of the media network. The media networks, they are holding us down, making sure that our message doesn't go far. You all know that most of them have been paid, most of them have been bought over. We don't have the money to bribe them or buy them over. All we got to do is to do our best to get away from their hold and make sure they don't oppress us while we are sending the message. So the only way we can break through the algorithm is by you helping us to share and also clicking like. When you click like and you share, they have no choice but to send signals to other people to join us and watch. Thank you so much as you're joining. I appreciate every one of you, wherever you are. Thank you so much for your cooperation. And I say happy Sunday to you. Wherever you're watching from, I say happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. As you all know, every Sunday, those of us who are Christians, we go to our various churches to worship. We go to our various churches to praise Chukwu Kabiama. We go to our various churches to worship, to pray, and thank Chukwu Kabiama for keeping us alive up to this minute. There is nothing wrong in that. Even if you are a Muslim and you are praying on Friday, there's nothing wrong in that. Whichever thing you believe in, you are a traditionalist and you're praying, there's nothing wrong in that. As long as you are genuinely praying to Chukwu Kabiama, we don't have any problem with you. I don't have any problem with that personally. I am a Christian. I pray as a Christian. But let me tell you, my religion is Biafra. Biafra is first my religion before anything. I am first Biafra before you can bring anything along the line. I am first Biafra. And I fight for Biafra. I speak for Biafra. That is why every time, after going to this church to worship as a Christian, I will still come back here where I worship with my brethren as Biafrans. We are Biafrans and we will never forget that. Don't allow anybody to push you aside. Don't allow anybody to confuse you. Do not allow anybody to make you begin to see yourself as a different person. We are Biafrans. That is what we are. That is whom we have been, and nobody can change that. I myself personally, you can see me, I'm an Igbo Biafran. I am proud to be an Igbo Biafran, and I will come back again and again if there is an opportunity to be an Igbo Biafran. There's no regret about that. I am happy with who I am, and I will continue to support and speak for Biafra until Biafra comes. So today, after being worshiping, and most of us have been gone to churches to pray, I want to ask, how many of you went to church today, and while you were praying, you prayed for Biafra? How many of you, while you were praying your church today, you prayed for Mazen Nandekan, you prayed for ESN, you prayed for our spokesperson, Mazen Simon Epa? How many of you? I know many people who are watching me now, who are watching. So many of us here are Christians. That is absolute truth that cannot be denied. A good number of us are Christians. If you went to church today to worship, how did you pray? Did you pray for a restoration of Biafra? Did you pray for the difficult times ahead that we are going into? Did you pray for our spokesperson, Master Simon Epa? Did you pray for Biafra? Did you pray for yourself? Did you pray? I ask you again, how was your prayer? What was your prayer point today? What was your prayer point today? Today, every one of us know that we are in a time of war. It is not a time of peace. We are in a time of war. So what was your prayer point? If you can take out your time, write on the comment section and tell me what was your prayer point today in the church. Did you pray for Biafra? Or you were still busy being selfish with your prayer points and you were praying for yourself and yourself alone? Did you pray for those people who were there fighting for you and I on a daily basis? Were you able to remember them in your prayer? The ESN who are going to walk into a difficult time, a time they have to be busy, a time they are going to fight and defend their land. Did you pray for them? Did you pray for our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, who is there on daily basis, taking difficult decisions for you and I? Did you pray for him? Did you remember him in your prayers today? If you did not, you are being selfish in your prayer. You better change your prayer point and begin to pray the right prayer. It is time to pray for Biafra. Pray for those who are fighting day and night, fighting for the coming of Biafra. Pray for those who are sitting and standing, fighting and praying and doing all sorts of things to make sure that Biafra comes. Pray for those who are working hard, making donations on different platforms to make sure that Biafra comes. So many people are donating in every platform, donating for the ESN, donating for the radio, donating for so many things. So many people are spending their time, their money, their energy to make sure that we actualize Biafra in a few days' time as we are counting down. On your own side, what did you do today when you go to church? If you're one of those who kneels down and you never remember to pray for your nation, you never remember to pray for our supreme leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is in the war front today. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who told us that he's going to fight from the front. He said he will fight from the front and not from behind, not from the side. And today, we can see very well that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is fighting from the front. Did you pray for him? Did you pray for him? I am asking those of us who are Christian. I'm specializing and talking about the Christian because today is Sunday, the day the Christians have chosen as their own Sabbath day to pray to Chukwu Kabiam. So what was the prayer point? Did you pray for Biafra? We are in a time that we must have to pay attention to everything that is happening. We must not take anything for granted. We must not leave any stone unturned. If you are genuinely a Biafran, the time that we're in is a time that you have to begin to do what is necessary. I can tell you, the war has begun. The war has begun. If you think it's a joke, it is not a joke. And I don't think that any normal human being today in Biafra land still think that what we are saying is a joke. If you are a Biafran at this stage, you still think that what we are talking is just a joke. We are just making noise. We are just wasting time. We are just blabbing. I don't know the kind of Biafran you are. If people who are not Biafran, we know the serious situation we're in, how much more you, who is the most oppressed, who is the most hated by the fallen Janjaweed. If other people will be awake and doing something, focusing on protecting their region, why would somebody who is a Biafran be sitting on the fence? Why would a Biafran be thinking and waiting for somebody to beg him? It is sad. But that is the situation. Some people are still sitting on the fence. Some people are still waiting for us to take cola to them, for them to come out and begin to do the needful. I tell you, at the time that we are in now, there is no more time to waste. There's no more time to listen to gossip. There is no more time. There's no more time to look back. It is onward to Biafra land. Onward marching to Biafra land to take over our land by fire, by force. The Biafrans are on the march. And this is the agreement reached by all Biafrans that we are going to march and defend our land. The enemy have come. And you know the reason why the enemy come. They only come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Are you going to be silent and watch the enemy destroy us? Are you going to be silent and watch the enemy take over our land? Are you going to be silent and continue to watch the enemy dehumanize our mothers, kill our children, kill our wives? Will you still be watching? No. No human being, no normal person will be watching and see his human abuse, his children abuse, his family destroyed. No normal person can watch and see that happen. That is why where we are today, we have to fight and fight by all means possible to make sure that we restore sanity. We have to fight by all means possible to make sure that we restore sanity in our nation. No weapon formed or fashioned against us shall prosper. It doesn't matter which angle, which area they are coming from. Wherever the enemy is coming from against us, we will fight them and take them head on. No inch of Biafran land will be left unshaken. No inch of Biafran land will be left untouched. Every single part of Biafran land will be defended. Mazen Nandekano made this clear that we are going to defend Biafra land by all means possible. And in the state of the art, I bet you the time has come. The time has come. If you know what you know how to do best, this is that time. It is no longer a child's play. And I must tell you, we have people on the ground who are doing the needful, who have sacrificed their life today to make sure that sanity returns in our land, to make sure that our land is defended. And I can tell you, when you hear that the Fulanese want to talk about the land, it is not a joke. It is not a propaganda. It is a reality. This is the reality on the ground. So many of you have seen several videos. Some of us, even when we see those videos, we don't pay attention. That is why sometimes I get the videos, both old and new, and replay it for you to see. Sometimes we have to replay those videos to get your mind back to the situation. Replay those videos to make you get connected to the situation at hand, to know that we are not just saying things because we love to say it. We are not just making noise online because we love to be online and make noise. No. We are crying and shouting because it's a necessity to do. We want to save life. The aim and objective of the struggle today, the aim and objective of the restoration of Biafra is what? To save life. You saw how our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, described Biafra. Biafra is a place where the oppressed people run into and they are saved. It's a safe haven for the oppressed people. That is what Biafra is. And that is why we have to restore that safe haven for the people who are being dehumanized, people who are being oppressed, people who they want to exterminate. It is very, very essential that Biafra will be restored. Biafra has to be restored. And the time is now. The time is now. We got the mandate. Chukwu Okikara gave that mandate of the restoration of Biafra. And we must follow that mandate to the last. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying, wherever he's saying it from, it doesn't matter. The time is now because the enemy is already inside, no longer at the gates. The enemy is with us. And at this particular point in time, you have seen several videos how they are destroying our land, taking over land. They have chased away families from their homes. In Biafra, I'm telling you about Biafran land. The same thing you saw happen in the southwest, in Ududua land, where people were chased out of their villages and they went exile into the Republic. Today, some villages in Biafra land have been vacated by the people. Some villages have been vacated. And I tell you, we cannot continue to be silent. That is why the ESN is taking upon themselves to do the necessary thing. And they are doing it. They are doing it. So when you hear about the restoration of Biafra, it is a mandate that must be carried out. You have to prepare yourself as we are moving into the difficult time and the difficult stage. At this particular point in time, everything that needs to be touched must be touched. Everything that needs to be shaken must be shaken. Any angle that we need to touch must be touched to make sure that Biafra is being restored. If you think that the takeover of Biafra land by Fulanese is a joke, it is not a joke. They are bent on doing it. But I tell you, it is only when you and I allow them that they can succeed. And I want to play a short clip for you to tell you the nature of things that are happening in Biafra land. You know, sometimes they say we are not on the ground, we don't know what we are saying, but we are getting information. There are certain informations we get abroad that people on the ground do not pay attention to. That is why we have to come online on a daily basis to shout and shout and shout, speak on top of our voices to make them hear and hear it clear. So many things are happening. Even people who are in Biafra land, so many things are happening around them that they're not aware of. There are so many incidents that we are aware of, but they are not aware. That is why it is necessary that we continue to hammer on certain issues, come online on a daily basis to talk and talk and talk, to make sure that people are being sensitized. We must not leave anybody behind. Let me tell you, the attack of the Fulani terrorists is still going on heavily, but we cannot allow it to succeed. I'm going to play a short clip for you to see exactly the nature of what I'm saying and what is going on.
Fulanese has taken the Fulanese
We
has
cannot
conquered
allow our people to be destroyed.
this village. There has deserted so many. In fact, they killed uncountable number of people. They are bringing in the Fulanese Janjaweed jihadist system into our land. But we've promised them that not even of our landed properties will be given to them. Not at all, not in this life. It's not going to be possible. Look at it. People have run away. Their properties, everything. Look at their homes. Yeah. So their homes everywhere deserted. The men are out. Eastern Security Network are out. Look at the men are out. The men are out. Eastern Security Network. The real men are out. The real men are out. Look at it. We are going into the forest, looking for them. Looking for them. The men are out. We are looking for the Fulanis. This is how we've been going into the forest, looking for all of them. In the Zuga, the enemies will run away. The enemies will be destroyed.
You saw that? I hope you saw that video. That is what is going on in Biafra land. That is exactly what is going on in Biafra land. And we cannot allow that to continue to happen. You saw our volunteer force, they are in action, doing the needful. So many of our land are under attack. And if we keep silent and continue to watch, a lot is going to go wrong. It is very important that every hand must be on deck. We cannot allow the Fulani Janjaweed to take away an inch of Biafra land. That is the resolve that we have reached. Mazen Nane can talk about it. I play the jingle all the time. The resolve that Biafrans reached to defend Biafra land at all costs. To defend Biafra, that is our resolve. We must defend our land at all costs. And in defending Biafra land, you have a role to play. I have a role to play. Every one of us have a role to play. You have to continue to support the ESN by all means possible. Listen to the voice of reason. Follow instructions. As we are now heading into the difficult stage where we are going to be taking some difficult steps. Freedom doesn't come easy. If you think you are looking for a cheap way to get your freedom, you are deceiving yourself. There is no shortcut for you to get the freedom. There's no shortcut. If you are looking for any shortcut, you are actually wasting your time. We must have to take drastic measures to make sure that things happen. And that is why you saw the Biafran people come together to agree on some difficult measures, which our spokesperson, Master Simon, have announced. 5 good days sit at home, starting from Friday. It's going to run from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is a break, Wednesday. I'm talking about the coming Friday. It is going to start. And we cannot stop. We cannot. It doesn't matter what anybody says or what it doesn't matter what anybody is saying or whatever decision anybody is taking. We cannot stop. We can't. We can't. All you have to do now is to join and begin to think, what are you going to do to effect something, to make sure that something begins to happen? That is the question that should be on everybody's mind. The question that should be on your mind is that, what am I going to do to make sure that this coming of Biafra in few days' time becomes a reality? That is the question that should be on your mind. You must not allow the voice of the enemy to be louder in your ears. You must not allow any distraction. I bet you distraction will continue to come. For as long as we continue to ask for our freedom, for as long as we continue to battle, distraction will continue to come. But you must not allow those distractions to strive. You must not allow those distractions to strive. Every one of us must sit up. Begin to think within yourself, how am I going to effect change? How am I going to make impact? Chukwu gave you and I that mandate. That mandate was not given to any particular person. He gave it to you and I to restore Biafra. Mazen Nandekano was the chosen person who blew the trumpet. And every one of us got the message, and the mandate was pronounced. Today, our spokesperson, Master Samuel Ekpa, is leading the charge, leading us into Biafra. All you got to do today is to follow every instruction you have heard from our spokesperson, Master Samuel Ekpa, who is the only person that we can tell today that is legitimately, sincerely fighting for the struggle, fighting for the restoration of Biafra. Master Simon Ekpa remains the only person you can vouch for who is fighting for Biafra today. It is very clear. For regardless whatever the saboteurs are saying, regardless whatever the enemies and the envious people and the jealous people are saying, it doesn't make a sense. All you need to do is to sit back and begin to look into things and see things with your own eyes. That is all you got to do. All you got to do is to sit back and watch closely and see the reality on the ground. And you will marvel that all this while, our spokesman Samuel Ekpa has been right. He says it exactly the way it is. He is the only person today building on that foundation led by Mazen Nandekam. He is taking on different fronts, fighting on various fronts. Fighting on various fronts. The same way our ESN, the volunteer force, are on the ground, fighting on different battles on different fronts, on different angles. That is the same thing our spokesperson, Mazen Samuel Ekpa, is doing. He's fighting the enemies on different fronts and defeating them. Not only fighting, defeating them hands down. Defeating them hands down. Each time they bring their propaganda, they project their propaganda, you see, it doesn't fly. It doesn't fly because the truth is only truth that can stand the test of time. The truth alone can stand the test of time. If you are lying, it's just going to take for a very short while. More especially when it has to do with this struggle, when it has to do with this very restoration of Biafra. If you are lying, it will take just a little space of time and the people will know that you are a liar. And today we have seen it. That all this while, those clowns, those Department of Saboteur who has been distracting Mazen Nandekan has been totally exposed. And today we can see clearly where we are. Every single one of them who decided to sell out. Even people who knew the truth, who has known the truth all this while. There are so many of them, including the politicians. There are so many politicians that have known the truth for a very long time. They know what is the truth. They know what the problem is, but they have decided not to do anything about it. Instead, for their own selfish interest, for their own personal gain, they sold out to their own people. That is why somebody that Mazen Nandekan took to defend him in the court will now turn against Mazen Nandekan and begin to plan against him on how to stop that very thing that Mazen Nandekan is pursuing. That is how evil people can be. Somebody you are supposed to defend. Instead of you to defend the person and make sure that the person gets his victory, what you are doing is the opposite. You are working against the same person you are supposed to defend. It is so sad, but that is the situation. In a situation where people do not want the truth anymore, now you have seen that your co-lawyers are now working towards the people who are faithful and sincere in their job, are working to make sure that their client comes out. Instead of you now to support or learn from them, you are now planning evil against them. You have heard the revelation, the intel that came out about their plan to attack Barrister Ejiofor. You have heard their plan. The plan they are making against Barrister Ejiofor. What wrong has Barrister Ejiofor committed? What crime has he committed? Ejimako, not Ejiofor. Ejimako, sorry. What crime has Aloy Ejimako committed? Aloy Ejimako has not committed any crime, but you see them plotting evil against Aloy Ejimako. Our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, tweeted about it. It had been uncovered about the plan to attack Barrister Aloy Ejimako. What crime has he committed? The only crime that Barrister Aloy Ejimako have committed is that he have decided to be speaking the truth, say things the way it's supposed to be, pursue his career the way it's supposed to be, defend the man he's supposed to defend, and make sure that he gets his freedom. That is the only crime Barrister Aloy Ejimako has committed. That he is working hard to make sure that his client gets victory. How is that an offense? How is that an offense? Now, the people now who are planning to fight against him and make sure that everything that he works for doesn't stand are the same people who are supposed to defend the client with him. People who are supposed to be defending the client with him. All of a sudden, because they have lost their mind, because they have lost it, they have lost it because of their wickedness, because of their envy and jealousy, because of their evil army, the evil mind. They lost their stance. Biafran people have deserted them. Biafrans no longer listen to them. Biafrans have seen that they are criminals. Now Biafrans are focusing on those who are genuinely fighting for the release of Mazen Nandekano, fighting for the struggle of Biafra, fighting for the restoration of Biafra. The Biafrans are focused on supporting those who are genuinely fighting for that which is truthful. And these saboteurs are uncomfortable. These saboteurs and their leader, Ifeanyi Ejiofor and co, they are not comfortable. Now they are making plans to go against Aloy Ejimako, because they have seen that Mazen Nandekano have taken a stance. For some time now, you see that the only man who is speaking out boldly and loud is Aloy Ejimako. And he has spoken about his meeting with Mazen Nandekano, and he says it's the way it is. He brings out the wrong normal information and say what he need to say. He had to say things that are concerned the legal aspect and not about the agitation. And they are not comfortable with that. They are now planning against Aloy Ejimako. And I tell you, whatever evil plan they have against Aloy Ejimako cannot stand. It will not stand. And I trust my spokesperson so much. The spokesperson of Biafra, he has said it. If you dare go to that direction of attacking Ifeanyi Ejiofor, Aloy Ejimako, you are going to pay for it. Any attack against Aloy Ejimako, you will pay dearly for it. You better hear it and hear it clear. And we don't bluff. You know, when we say certain things, they don't take us serious. But I tell you, everything that our spokesman has spoken about, he carries it out. He doesn't make an empty threat. He doesn't make it. That's why you find out that he doesn't react easily. When things happen, takes time. It takes time for him to come on board and react. And once he begins to react, you're going to see a result. So if you are one of those they are going to hire, or you're one of those who is planning to attack Aloy Ejimako because of his good work, because of the good things he did, because the Biafrans have now realized that he's one of those who are working to see Mazen Nandekano out of that dungeon. He is one of the genuine Biafrans who is fighting genuinely for the liberation of Biafra. And you are not happy. Those of you who are saying over your dead body, as long as it's not working through you, you can't support it. That is evil. Mazen Nandekano, who is the leader of the struggle today, the present leader of the struggle, every one of us know that our eternal leader, Odumegwu Ojukwu, started the struggle. Our eternal leader, Odumegwu Ojukwu, started it, and he did his best, fought for 3 good years. And they said, no victor, no vanquish. And everything ended. And he was there, still encouraging us until he left us. Uwaziruke came on board. Uwaziruke came on board and tried. He was compromised. He left the stage. Today, Mazen Nandekano, the spokesperson of Biafra, Mazen Nandekano, our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano, took it upon himself. And he has been fighting all this while. It has been from one lockup or the other, one attack or the other. He has experienced so many attacks, so many death threats. He has been offered so many, no kind of bribery that he has not been offered. And he said, no, it is either Biafra or nothing. It is either Biafra or, if you don't give me Biafra, it's either Biafra or dead. And he's not missing what about it. He continues to fight, and speak about it. It is either Biafra or dead. And he continued to fight until this minute. Mazen Nandekano is still standing, demanding for Biafra. And today, our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, came on board through the message of Mazen Nandekano, through the strength of Mazen Nandekano, and he was anointed by Mazen Nandekano. Mazen Nandekano embraced him, anointed him, and told us about the new dimension. So even in this stage, you still see people at this point in time, you still see people at this point in time who are there speaking about irrelevant issues, talking about things that doesn't matter. who are still there, bent on destroying the very foundation that have been laid. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, even with all the sacrifice he made, was not jealous about anybody. He says, if you know anything you can do to go and get Biafra, do it on your own. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say it in a clear terms. It doesn't matter whom you are. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter your tribe or your religion. It doesn't matter your faith. If you know that thing you know you can do to get Biafra, go ahead and do it. That was the message of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But today, what we see are people who are saying that if you don't do it on my own way, you are not fighting for Biafra. If you don't do it my own way, you are a saboteur. If you don't do it my own way, the Biafra will not come. Instead of the Biafra not come through you, let it not come. These are the kind of clowns we see today. But I bet you their end has come. We don't have time for them anymore. Their end has come. We are going home, and no man born of a woman can stop it. There are so many people who know the truth today, including politicians that have known the truth. But today, you see them speaking from different side of their mouth, including governor. And I'm going to play a video, an old video of governor, this present governor of Anambra State, Soludo. I'm going to play a video of Soludo to show you Soludo's view when he has not become a governor. When Soludo has not become a governor after he left the bank, after he left the bank, after he left the government as a governor of Central Bank, Soludo was speaking in a conference about Biafra. That was when he was still genuine. That was when he still has some atom of feelings in him. That was when he still have conscience. Until when he began to dine with the devil. That's why I say, those people who say they will eat with the devil with a long spoon. I say, for me, I will not even eat with the devil, let alone using the long spoon. That idea of eating with the devil, if you want to eat the devil, use a long spoon. Don't dare. Don't even try to eat the devil at all. Do not try, because the devil is smarter than you. The devil have more strength more than you. Who the hell do you think you are? That the devil cannot get you with that your long spoon. The best thing is to stay away from the devil. Don't even eat with him, let alone talking about using a long spoon. This idea of eating with the devil with a long spoon, don't try, don't dare, don't even go near, don't go close. Before this very Soludo began to eat with the devil with a long spoon, before he began to dine with the devil, I'm going to play a video, then you will see his tone, the way he explained this state that we're in today. This thing that is happening today, Soludo explained it in this very video. But after explaining it and talking about it today, that same Soludo is deepening himself into that destruction. That Soludo is deepening himself into the same evil that he has preached in the past. The same evil he has talked against in the past. Today, he is the arch leader of the same evil that he has spoken against. That is what you get when you go to dine with the devil, in the name of dining with the devil with a long spoon. First of all, the criminal, the late Muhammad Buhari, gave him an appointment and he accepted that appointment. He accepted it. From that appointment, they planned him and planted him in Anambra State to destroy Biafra, and he accepted it. This is the same man who spoke positively about Biafra, who talked about the same evil. I'm going to play that video to revise your memory, so that you know why we must get out of the zoo. When we are telling you about that, this government, when you hear political solution, run for your life. When you hear political solution, run so that your leg will be touching your back. Don't stop. Let us listen to that very video once again. Just pay attention to everything that this criminal now is going to say. Soludo, you will hear him, you'll be wondering if it is that same Soludo that is the governor of Anambra State today. Let us listen to what Soludo has to say.
Let us pray.
And let me say that Nigeria has wittingly or unwittingly dragged the Biafran issue from the periphery into the mainstream discussion. Nnamdi Kanu, in my view, threw a bait and Nigeria took it. Today, he is the most popular political prisoner and will end up either as a hero or a martyr. But to his credit, he has forced Nigeria and the world to discuss Biafra. I believe that keeping him there does not do Nigeria any good. I believe this young man should be released, and released like yesterday. So, if I were President Buhari, quite honestly, I would be very suspicious of anyone who advises me to ignore the Biafran issue. I'll be very suspicious. Anybody who says that is either ignorant or being mischievous, or quite patently doesn't mean well for the government itself. It probably wants the same government to repeat the mistakes of the past so that it could lead it down the train. We must start learning in this country. So let's talk Biafra. Where are the Igbo elite and the intelligentsia in all of this, especially those in Nigeria? It seems, as this book points out, this is being driven mostly by the Igbo intelligentsia in diaspora, the new resurgence. The new ones within, there seems to be a division, 3 classes you can identify. The ones within the mainland, and I'm shocked, and you discuss, they have a different point of view. Those in diaspora within Nigeria, so to speak, who are in Abuja and Lagos and so on and so forth, Kano, Kaduna, and so on. And an elder was asked about that, living in one of these northern states, about Biafra, and they asked him, what do you think about this Biafra? He said, well, nah, I just didn't know. In other words, they should keep it up, but you know I can no longer go now. You see all the things I have here, I cannot carry them on my head. So, there seems to be a sense of either denial, and on one part, or people who think, no, it won't be, because we can't just imagine it. And because of some discussion that, oh, okay, if this happens, you will lose your property, you will lose that, and so on. Of course, that is untenable. I mean, I too was wrong on this, because if by any chance you have another state of Biafra, it will be the 16th state of ECOWAS. And that means you have free movement of goods and persons. But the fundamental question, the fundamental issue is that this debate is not happening. This whole thing is being driven almost in a haphazard manner. But, again, where is the elite in this? What is missing is structured debate and the apparent elite aloofness or complicity or hypocrisy. The elite in denial. For the politicians who think you can just, let's use them temporarily, let's use them. Just go on, while we can then use that to negotiate for something here. I can tell you, you will create a monster that will consume you. When that inferno comes, both us, everybody else, and the kind of thing that happened in Biafra where dissent, any dissent was considered a saboteur. Okay? You might get to a point where you will be telling them, just go on, while we can negotiate here, get something for ourselves in Abuja. I can tell you, these guys are no fools. At some point, they will look at you too and know that you're actually part of the problem.
Did you hear him? I hope you heard him. This very video I played is very, very sensitive. At that last part of it, if you can reflect back at that last part of it, you heard what he said. He was talking to the politician. This was made in 2015, when Mazen Nanekon was arrested in 2015. And this man, Soludo, was given a truer picture of what is happening in the Biafra struggle and what needs to be done. He talked about the evil of the elites, how the elites are playing smart on the innocent Biafran, thinking that they're going to use the innocent Biafran to negotiate. And he told them that a time will come when the Biafrans will no longer tolerate all this issue of negotiation for their own selfish interest. That the Biafrans are not stupid. That a time will come when Biafrans will begin to see these politicians as an enemy. That is the time we are today. And eventually, this same Soludo is now part of the elites, part of the politicians that are trying to use the Biafran people to negotiate. The same thing he spoke about in 2015. This is how evil these people are. When you see them talking, you think they don't know what they are doing. Everything they are doing intentionally. It is just about them and about them. That is why I say, when you hear political solution, run as fast as you can for your life, because they don't mean you well. All they want is to destroy you. Can you believe that somebody who made this kind of statement today is fighting against Biafra by all means possible to destroy the struggle? Somebody who made a statement today, he is a governor, and Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is in captivity. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu have been granted freedom, yet this man cannot stand up and ask the federal government to release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Even when Mazin Nnamdi Kanu have gotten a judgment in the court of the zoo telling them to let Mazin Nnamdi Kanu go, this same man you just had speaking, this same man you had his speech, cannot open his mouth and say, let Mazin Nnamdi Kanu go. He's innocent. After all, your court have said, let him go. This is how evil it is. You see why I tell you, don't eat with the devil. If you think you are eating with the devil with a long spoon, you are only involving yourself in something that you cannot get out of. You can't be smarter than the devil. It's only by the grace of Chukwu Abiyama that we overcome. Every time you see us overcome temptation and overcome the devil, it is by the grace of Chukwu Abiyama. And by you staying away completely. But for you to tell me that you're going to dine with the devil and you need a long spoon because you're smart, you are wasting your time. Can you believe that somebody like Soludo, who made this very comment in 2015, who made this very marvelous statement of calling the attention of the elites, the intelligentsia, the Igbos abroad, and the wealthy people on their complicity in the suffering of the Biafran people? He spoke about it, but today, eventually, he is a politician, a governor, and he has now become the leader of those oppressing his own people. He has become one of those who is leading the operation against Biafran people. In his presence, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has gotten a decision in the court which says, let him go, discharge him, let him go. And yet, this man have not uttered a statement to the man. When he went to visit Mazin Nnamdi Kanu in prison, it was for his own selfish interest to push his own evil agenda on stopping Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, either to convince Mazin Nnamdi Kanu to buy into their evil agenda. But Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, being a man that is unbribable, maybe he was still thinking that he has an opportunity. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is unbribable. He's unbribable. He went and tried his luck. And today he came out with nothing. He came back with nothing. And I tell you, it doesn't matter the strategy. It doesn't matter what they are doing. They can never, ever break Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. It is becoming much more clearer to them than ever. And they are getting the message very, very clear. Can you believe that this man who made this statement today has every opportunity to strengthen all those things he was talking about in that very video? Today, instead of strengthening his neck, compounding the problem the more. I want to play that video once more again. I want to play that video once again. Listen to every single statement that idiot is going to make and read meanings into them. Then you compare it to his life today. You see a reason why you must not eat with the devil, let alone using a long spoon. You see a reason why if you see any Igbo politician, run away. They are your number one enemy. The governors, they are your number one enemy. I want us to pay attention to this very video again. You know, these are old videos, but when you begin to revisit them and look into it, you see where your problem lies, and you see people you must not trust, people you must not die with. That is the importance of all these videos. That is the good. That is the one thing we gain from this social media and everything. Social media never forgets. The media never forgets. Mainly when we have information on video, we never forget. It reminds you of it. It gives you insight. It gives you insight of where the people are, where the problem are, and people you must stay away from. It doesn't matter how beautiful they sound. It doesn't matter how rich they are. It doesn't matter how intelligent they claim to be. people you must stay away from. I want you to pay attention once again to the vote and message that this man was presented here. Then you will know we must ever trust these idiots.
And let me say that Nigeria has wittingly or unwittingly dragged the Biafran issue from the periphery into the mainstream discussion. Nnamdi Kanu, in my view, threw a bet and Nigeria took it. Today, he is the most popular political prisoner and will end up either as a hero or a martyr. But to his credit, he has forced Nigeria and the world to discuss Biafra. I believe that keeping him there does not do Nigeria any good. I believe this young man should be released and released like yesterday. So, if I were President Buhari, quite honestly, I would be very suspicious of anyone who advises me to ignore the Biafran issue. I'll be very suspicious. Anybody who says that is either ignorant or being mischievous or quite patently doesn't mean well for the government itself. It probably wants the same government to repeat the mistakes of the past so that it could lead it down the train. We must start learning in this country. So let's talk Biafra. Where are the Igbo elite and the intelligentsia in all of this, especially those in Nigeria? It seems, as this book points out, this is being driven mostly by the Igbo intelligentsia in diaspora, the new resurgence. The new ones within, there seems to be a division, 3 classes you can identify. The ones within the mainland, and I'm shocked, and you discuss, they have a different point of view. Those in diaspora within Nigeria, so to speak, who are in Abuja and Lagos and so on and so forth, Kano, Kaduna, and so on. And an elder was asked about that, living in one of these northern states about Biafra, and they asked him, what do you think about this Biafra? He said, well, nah, I just didn't know. In other words, they should keep it up, but you know I can no longer go now. You see all the things I have here, I cannot carry them on my head. So, there seems to be a sense of either denial, and on one part, or people who think, no, it won't be, because we can't just imagine it. And because of some discussion that, oh, okay, if this happens, you will lose your property, you will lose that, and so on. Of course, that is untenable. I mean, I too was wrong on this, because if by any chance you have another state of Biafra, it will be the 16th state of ECOWAS. And that means you have free movement of goods and persons. But the fundamental question, the fundamental issue is that this debate is not happening. This whole thing is being driven almost in a haphazard manner. But, again, where is the elite in this? What is missing is structured debate and the apparent elite aloofness or complicity or hypocrisy. Elite in denial. For the politicians who think you can just, let's use them temporarily, let's use them. Just go on, while we can then use that to negotiate for something here. I can tell you, you will create a monster that will consume you. When that inferno comes, both us, everybody else, and the kind of thing that happened in Biafra where dissent, any dissent was considered a saboteur. Okay? You might get to a point where you will be telling them, just go on, while we can negotiate here, get something for ourselves in Abuja. I can tell you, these guys are no fools. At some point, they will look at you too and know that you're actually part of the problem.
You have had it. Today, this same man who was warning warning the politicians of creating a monster. This same Soludo that you saw in that video, warning the politicians and the elites of creating a monster, he is now today the major creator of monster in Biafra land. Soludo today has created more monster than any other governor in Biafra land. Today, Soludo is topping charts. Is in competition with Hope Uzodinma on who will create the highest monster in Biafra land. Today, this same Soludo you saw making that speech there is creating monster. You see why you must not listen to any politician. You see why we must fight. The earlier we begin to fight our way out, the better. Please, if you are watching from any place, share this broadcast and make sure you click like. I have told you all the time, each time you come in, click like. That like you are clicking, you are part of the media. That like is inviting someone else. As you click like, you are inviting somebody to join the information. You are making somebody to get the information as you're clicking like. Every information at this particular point in time is important. Every single thing you hear from the media warriors, it is very, very important. Don't be stingy with your information. That is why when you come into the platform, make sure you share to one person. Make sure everybody here, make sure you share to one person and click like. Click like. It is very important. We want the message to go across and everybody have to see it and know the reason why we must do what we are doing. As we are entering into this difficult stage, it is important that we will know why it is important that we have to make the sacrifice we are making today. The world will be watching and they will see and they know that we have a legitimate right for fighting the fight that we're fighting today. When we ask for sit at home, Biafrans will begin to see reason why we must sit at home to liberate ourselves from the clutches of the enemies. The enemies that we're up against, they are everywhere. They're everywhere. These politicians you are seeing, the governors, the House of Senate, whatever I call them, all the politicians, they are part and parcel of the problem of the Biafran people. This very video will tell you that these people are part and parcel of the problem of Nigeria. If somebody like Soludo, why he was not yet into politics, in 2015, was speaking like a human being, was speaking like a true Biafran is supposed to be, was speaking boldly like a Biafran is supposed to be, telling his fellow elites not to create monsters, that the monster is going to consume them. And all of a sudden, that same man today has become one of the highest creator of monsters. And you think he's going to survive? That monster, just as he said, is about to swallow every single one of them. The monster that Soludo and Co has created, as he had just mentioned, everything he has said there is about to happen. That is why I played the video. In case he himself can see it, let people send it to him and let him realize, let him know that that thing he has talked about in 2015, it is going to consume him. That same thing will consume him. He went to the extent of telling them that if they think they can use the Biafran to negotiate, which is exactly what he has done. Soludo have used Biafra to negotiate for governorship, and they made him a governor. And the next stage was to make sure he crushed the struggle. That was why he went to visit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to convince Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave him the shock of his life. And since then, he came out. Even when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has gotten victory, he never opened his mouth to speak about it. You heard him in 2015 telling the federal government to let him, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu go. And he's still on that same case that they are still holding him today. Today on is even worse, that they went and kidnapped him. In 2015, it was an arrest, but this time around, it is a kidnap in another country. They kidnapped him and brought him in. And yet, this man today is a governor. He has not spoken about it or made a case for it. Instead, he used it to negotiate for his governorship. He used Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to negotiate for his governorship. And you hear him saying, using the same terms that you think you can use, when you use these people, that you cannot use them forever, that they will come back to haunt you. You will create a monster. Soludo have single-handedly created a monster that is going to consume him and his colleagues. And every Biafran have to pay attention. The world is watching. You are fighting the right fight. You are fighting for a just cause. Do not look back. Any place you are in Biafran land, every Biafran that have taken up this fight, you are fighting a just cause. Don't look back. Don't allow anybody to distract you. You have every reason to fight for your freedom because the enemy, they are everywhere. The politicians are part and parcel of the enemies trying to consume you. After watching the video closely, you will see reason why you must fight. Fight by all means possible to liberate yourself because they won't stop. The enemy will not stop. What does the devil come to do? To kill, to steal, and to destroy. That is the only aim they have. And they will stop at nothing than doing it. So before they kill us, before they destroy us, we will first of all take them out and destroy them. That is why if you are still thinking it's a joke, it is not a joke. Coming Friday, the sit at home kicks off. I tell you, it's going to start coming Friday. And let me remind you again, it will be enforced. The ESN now have more responsibilities. Any place you are, begin to pray for them. Begin to do everything you can do to support them. Begin to give your financial support to them. Go to the website, even while there is no fundraising going on. Don't wait until fundraising. Go there and make your donation. Go to the website. Just get the right website and you make your donation. Begin to prepare yourself. Begin to equip yourself by anything you can do. Prepare yourself. Because this issue we have been saying it for a very long time, that every Biafran must wake up and prepare themselves for the days ahead. We have been saying it. Stock up food item for yourself. Get necessary things. We said it and we shouted on it. People thought it was a joke. We have gotten to a stage where the restoration will commence. We spoke about no election. This is not like an Anambra election where you see we are not paying attention to all those Department of Saboteurs who are making noise, all those blackmailers and whatever. They don't matter. This is a general election, national election, and it cannot hold in Biafran land. And they know it. It is not just because we said it. They know it. That is why they are evacuating their people from Biafra land. They evacuate them because they know that the election is not going to hold. If election will hold, they are not going to evacuate their 25%. Remember, in every state, you must have 25% to win. You must have 25%. And they have always pushed in that 25% by all means possible to come and vote. And all of a sudden, while you are going into election, they are pulling out their 25%. Now you think it's for nothing. They know election is not going to hold. They know it very well. And I tell you, Biafrans have taken up the challenge. We are going to fight them head on. You better begin to prepare yourself. It is not a child's play. If you are one of those who is taking off a ride, no problem. Just pray that Chukwu will come and give you the opportunity to repent on time. Just pray. Pray hard that Chukwu will come and give you the opportunity to repent on time. As long as you are not standing on the way of Biafrans, you are free to believe whatever you want to believe. As long as you are not standing on the way of the coming of Biafra to hinder it, you can believe what you want to believe. But if you make any move of standing as a barrier, as a hindrance to the coming of Biafra, you will definitely be crushed. Crushed without mercy. We can't pity you. We will not spare you. You'll be crushed. My fellow Biafrans, we must wake up. We must wake up because what people we are up, we must open up our ears and listen to instructions. Mazen Nandekano said, share the videos of Mazen Simon Eba. Listen to him. Share his videos. He is bringing a new dimension. That new dimension is what is going to lead us into the actualization of Biafra. The liberation of Biafra is that new dimension. And Mazen Simon Eba is leading it. He has opened it. He has given us his template. He has shown it. And you can see it coming, drawing closer on speed. It is not just a wishful thinking. It's not like people who predict and say this. No. Mazen Simon Eba, you will see it clear. He will remove something from your eyes and he will show it to you and you see it. And every one of us who is asking, how is Biafra going to come in so time? How is Biafra going to come? Why did you say you know when Biafra will come? Why did you say when Biafra will come? How dare you say you know when Biafra? Today, every single one of you who has been asking that question and saying that, you can see today that Master Simon Ekpa wasn't just saying it. It is not just a wishful thought or wishful thinking. It is a work in progress. Started a long, long time ago. Our Supreme Master Nnamdi Kanu laid a very solid foundation. But the Department of Saboteurs have been hindering him. Each time he takes a step to make declaration, they'll stop him. He make 100 steps forward, they bring him back 100 steps. He make 100 steps forward, they bring him 200 steps backward. Until when we got to where we got, when Chukwu Okeke have brought the dragon to do the needful in the new dimension. Today, they can't find their space anymore. But I tell you, you must open up your brain. Some of us are still dumb. Some of us are still playing. It is not a time to play. And before we go for that, before we conclude, I would like to play a message from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As I have always tell you, make sure that every single day of your life, you listen to one message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you will learn a new thing. Today, I'm going to play an extract from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Maybe before the end of this, I strongly believe that you will learn something from it. Let us hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what he has to say.
Let us pray. For God in heaven, our people cannot see because they are blind. People cannot see because they are blind. But we are here to open your eyes. In the blessed land of Biafra, where we are under the bondage of the zoo because a few idiots want to be president of Nigeria. Because after that, then what happens? All of them killing themselves over Jonathan presidency. From the so-called Niger Delta or Yoruba that was dying because of Obasanjo presidency. Where are they today? They are still the ones crying that things are not okay. So you think as an Igbo man, if you're there for 8 years, somehow, miraculously, you will change anything? You don't see tried and they killed him. Use your brain. It was meant to be Alex Ekwueme after Shagari. Buhari overthrew the government in 1983. Some of you don't know history. Rather than allow an Igbo man to become the president, they did a coup. Some of you need to reason very well. Obioso, you claim you went to school, you should be able to use your brain. Oh, can you believe it? People who are foolish, they cannot, because of the Nchonche wild chicken change they give you in Abuja. You don't have a house in Abuja because of that. You are going to suffer and die. Check about who knock there are mad people. You've not seen anything yet. You have not seen anything yet. People are free to do whatever they like because they are not coming out openly to support Biafra because of their business interest, because they are selfish, because they do not understand what patriotism is, because also they were groomed by Fulani Janjaweed to do exactly what they are doing. That's the reason why they are the way they are. Our people, let me tell you something, most people, everybody who was a multimillionaire after the war was a saboteur during the war. That's what they do. Everybody who was a multi-millionaire immediately after the war was a saboteur during the war. It has benefited most of our people over the years, and they are continuing in that very vein, which is very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. That is why we need a revolution. And in a revolution, you cleanse all these idiots. Of course, I'm not going to say what will happen to them. There will be no more. That I can assure you. You are going to come out again to try and defend your right to exist in the land of your ancestors. People talk about tanker explosion. I want to ask you this question. You know, a lot of people don't understand what the Janjaweed, the Fulanis have in store for us. Every time we hear about a tanker explosion somewhere, why don't these tankers explode in the north? Why are they not exploding in the north? I ask, why is it that all this gas explosion, these cylinders exploding and killing people doesn't happen in the north? That is to tell you that they know what they're doing. It's part of the coordinated attack to deplete the populations of the south, to make us become very fearful, and to make us easy prey for the taking by Janjaweed terrorists from the Sahel. Even those who supported the coming of this Janjaweed government, this terror organization, now it is clear to my Yoruba friends that what you have in Asorok is a terrorist organization masquerading as president, because there's no Buhari. Everyone knows that very well. There's no Buhari. What you have is a terror organization masquerading as presidency, now coming out to defend what is in effect indefensible. And it is very, very sad.
You heard from our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is always good to hear his voice once in a while. It is always good. Hearing the voice of Mazen Nandekan once in a while. It's always good. It encourages us. It reveals a lot of things. That is why I encourage people. Try to listen to his messages. None of his messages are old. The messages of Mazen Nandekan are new every morning. When you hear him speak there, it will seem as if he's talking about, he's with us today talking. When you hear, if you listen to the very clip very well, you hear him talking, you will see it's just like as if he is with us talking about the present situation. Biafran people, we are blessed. Chukwu Kagame blessed us by giving us Mazen Nandekan, who makes every revelation to us, who put things right. Chukwu Kagame have never left us without a leader. He gave us Mazen Nandekan. And Mazen Nandekan do a very great work that everybody can testify of. He was working, he did everything he has to do to put in place a strong foundation that is going to take us into Biafra. And even while the enemy we are preparing to take him away from us, Chukwu Kagame made him aware and he prepared the dragon. He anointed Mazi Simon Ekpa. Before the whole world, he told us that Mazi Simon Ekpa is bringing a new dimension. He said it clearly. He didn't miss what he said it. He anointed him. Even to make it much more clearer, after he was abducted, after he was kidnapped, the slightest times he had, the first person he talked about was Mazi Simon Ekpa. He told him to go and talk to Biafran people. To go and talk to Biafran people. To show you how sure he was about the anointing of Simon Ekpa. And since then till now, Simon Ekpa has been building on the foundation laid by Mazen Nandekan. I always say it and I repeat it again and again, that there is nothing new that Mazen Simon Ekpa is doing. He's building on the foundation of Mazen Nandekan. Mazen Simon Ekpa is not laying any new foundation. What he's doing is building on the foundation of Mazen Nandekan. If you try to lay any new foundation, of course, you'll be thrown away. Just the Department of Sabotua. The Department of Sabotua, they were the ones who were busy with their White lawyer. They were busy building a new strategy. They were busy building a new foundation based on lie, propaganda, and deceit. And that was why Chukwu Kagame exposed them using the dragon. And today, they have gone to oblivion. And they will never, ever recover again. But our spokesperson, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has been the one building on the foundation of truth and consistency. Building on that foundation laid on the rock by Mazen Nandekan. And that is why the dragon is indestructible. And that is why once the dragon opens his mouth and make a pronunciation on you, the Biafran people will desert you and you will never be relevant anymore. Go and check. Every single person he has spoken about, they are no longer relevant. Some of them who still don't have shame, they are struggling to make themselves appear before the people. Some of them who are still coming out, they are struggling very hard to be seen by the people. But it doesn't matter how they struggle. They are gone, they are gone. And you and I know that they are gone. Any place you are today, you must be steadfast. We are going to face the challenge. Our resolve is to defend Biafra land, and we must do everything humanly possible to defend Biafra land. And I remind you again, if you are one of those, who is trying to hinder the coming of Biafra, if you are one of those who they are bribing or they are paying, for your own sake, you are being warned. If you are one of those who they are bribing to stand against Biafra, to make sure that Biafra doesn't come, if you are one of those who is contemplating to think that you can stop Biafra, I want you to hear this. Hear it and hear it clear. Just get the message straight into your mind.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand in the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold all of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals. They're saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You have to go everywhere.
You had Mazen Nandekano speak, and you had our spokesman say that any attempt you make to stand on the way of Biafra, we will crush you. We will. We will crush you. You better don't try. You better don't dare. All you got to do is to key in. It is a time of liberation. We are going home. No man born of a woman can stop it. Biafra will definitely come. It doesn't matter what you say. Prepare yourself for the sit at home that is going to last for 5 days. Prepare yourself for the sit at home starting on the 9th. Starting on the 9th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday break, and then Wednesday. Prepare yourself. I remind you again, the sit at home will be enforced. It will be enforced. And you know what that means? You know what it means when we say it's going to be enforced. The ESN are going to be on the street. And once they come out, you know what the Janjaweed are going to do? The Janjaweed will always go after the innocent people because they can't face the ESN. So the only way you can stay safe within this period is to be indoor. Sit at home. Let there be a total lockdown. Leave the street. Leave the street for the ESN and the Janjaweed. Let's see if they can be able to handle it. Leave the street. Don't go and expose yourself to danger. Don't go and put yourself in the harm's way. No. Please, for your own sake, pass the information. If you have not shared the video, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Karima, share this video in one platform. Make sure you share the video to one person. Every one of you watching, make sure you share to one person. And as you're watching, please click like. Click like. It will make somebody to be invited. When you like the video, it will make somebody to be invited. Every information at this particular point in time is important. Every single information we pass today is important. Nobody will be left behind. We are doing everything we are doing to make sure that the collateral damage is reduced to zero if possible. We have to reduce the collateral damage as much as possible. We want every one of us to go into Biafra land alive. It is not our desire as Biafrans for anybody to lose his life. It is not our desire for any Biafran, regardless of your belief, regardless of your idea, regardless of what you are doing, regardless of your ethnic group or your location. We don't want any innocent life to be lost. Not only Biafran, even if you're not a Biafran, you're in Biafra land, we don't want any innocent life to be lost. That is why we are pleading for people to stay at home. Stay at home to be safe. Leave the street. People are coming to enforce the sit at home. Leave the street. Let us handle the Janjaweed. The market has to be shut down. It has to be a total lockdown in Biafra land for that 5 days to let them know that Biafra is coming. The liberation will start from there. They will begin to get the message clear that there will be no election in Biafra land. We will stop at nothing to make sure that it's being carried out to the last. Follow instruction. It's going to help you to stay alive. Share the message. Pass the information. When you hear something, pass it out. Don't keep it to yourself. I bet you we don't derive joy in the death of people. We don't want anybody to die. Not only we don't want any innocent soul, regardless your religion, regardless your location, your tribe, whatever you believe. We don't want any innocent soul to be lost. We want everybody to stay alive and experience freedom in their lifetime. That is the desire of the whole Biafran people. And that is what we are working for. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every single one of us. Give us that strength, wisdom, knowledge to continue to do that which is right and walk into freedom as soon as possible. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every one of us who has keyed in on this very broadcast today. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every Biafran all over the world, wherever you are. Guide and protect all the Oduduwa people, wherever they are. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our volunteer force, the ESN. As ESN are preparing for a difficult time, including the BNL and the BNG, all the armed groups in Biafra land that are legitimately and sincerely fighting for the rest of Biafra, as they are going to go into a difficult time. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will guide and protect every single one of them. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will build a wall of fire around them. No weapon of the enemy will penetrate them. No attack of the enemy will have effect on them. All the armed groups that are legitimately fighting for the restoration of Biafra, as they are going to embark on a very difficult time, as they are going to embark on a very busy time, may Chukwu Okike Abiama strengthen them, give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect the Umuada who are doing marvelously well, seeing that things works well. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect them and their family. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect Honorable Azuka, who is doing a wonderful job guiding the Umuada and leading them to success. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect her and her family, strengthen her and give her more wisdom. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect all the autopilot media who are working day and night, day in, day out, disseminating information, making sure that every angle is being reached, making sure that people are being sensitized. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every one of them, strengthen them and give them more energy to continue to push on until Biafra comes. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect our spokesperson. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect Sunday Igboho, guide and protect Professor Kintoye. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide them and secure them. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, as we are marching forward into Biafra. In this time, difficult decisions will be taken. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to give Master Simon Ekpa more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, more mental toughness. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to strengthen him, speak to him often. We are going into a difficult time, a very difficult time that when difficult decisions we made, a time that difficult decision we made. May Chukwu Okike Abiama stand with our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, guide him, protect him, and continue to minister to him so that every decision he will take will be to the glory of Chukwu Okike Abiama, will be to our own victory. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect him. Every missile, spiritually and physically, against him will never have effect. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano, wherever he is. We commit him into the hand of Chukwu Okike Abiama. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect him, secure him, continue to carry him like an egg in his hand. No weapon formed of against Mazen Nandekano shall prosper. Every poison they inject in the body of Mazen Nandekano will never have effect. Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to send doctors spiritually to Mazen Nandekano to continue to minister to him. He will remain much more healthier than you can ever expect until he joins us very, very soon. No weapon formed of against Mazen Nandekano shall prosper. No weapon formed of against Mazen Nandekano shall prosper. I say no weapon formed of against Mazen Nandekano shall prosper. I appreciate everybody who has been patient enough with me up to this moment. Everybody who have contributed in one way or the other in this very program. If you are contributing on the comment section, whatever you contributed by sharing the video, by liking the video, I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect you. You are going to be alive and you will see Biafra. You will raise the flag of Biafra with Mazen Nandekano. Every one of us will meet in Biafra land. We step into that land and raise the flag. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every one of us. Thank you so much for joining me. I will meet you again tomorrow, same time, by the special grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Thank you so much and remember us. Bye-bye. See you.
But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this idea belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond to eternity.
Oh,